I have mentors that I work with
My
that
ultimate
have
point is
gone
that
through that.
28 years old, you're too young to be trying to talk about getting married anyway. See, you haven't found yourself. And if I go with what you said, your failure in relationships are justified by calling black women your enemy instead of looking in the mirror and saying, where am I at?
Hmm.
I do
Where
that
am
every
I
day.
at, and why? And why? What makes you said you were looking at her to be a wife, possibly? What makes you a husband?
Hmm.
Outside, from what standpoint?
Can you provide for a family?
Not yet, no.
Then you were dating this woman with the eye to marry her, and you couldn't even provide for a family. Your problem isn't the women, man. The problem. See, this is the problem with too many of us as black men. We don't have power. We're not trying to be serious. I mean, no disrespect, but I'm tired of hearing black men who are musicians and rappers and producers and actors and massage therapists and Uber drivers and chefs. Where's the trade? Where's the profession? Where's the real world? Something you walk into a chamber of commerce meeting
Hmm.
with a business card and say, "This is who I am and what I do," to where other men will take you seriously.
There you have it. From the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. I just wanted to use a little clip to illustrate that, a lot of men, black men, they need to do a check on themselves too, right? We can sit here and blame women, black women, all the time, right? There has to be accountability on both sides, okay? So I just wanted to bring light to some issues here, right? Because, a lot of times we see all these clips and they're mostly women trying to check women, men checking women. It's always women, 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 right? And we know a lot of women have gotten out of control about a lot of issues and stuff like that, but so have men, right? So I just wanted to bring some light to it. So I'm Tommy Thomas, coming to you live from T-ster Talk. And, obviously, it's just something that I've kind of harped on. A lot of people don't understand it. When people first started out, he, Kevin, was actually trying to help black men understand who they are first, because as leaders, you need to be able to show women, what it is to run things properly. And the order is God, husband, wife, children. And a lot of people, men, have abused that privilege, right? They want you to women to be submissive and doing all this other thing, but you're not lined up directly with how God wants you to be. Now let me say that again. You need, as a man, to be lined up with how God wants you to be first. The woman will generally see that. I'm not going to say all, but the ones who really are the ones who really want to have it done right and get their life together, they will see you. It starts with us. As black men, we have to show leadership. We have to show direction, right? They have to have faith in why would somebody choose you and you're not even husband material? You just sitting there saying this and that, and oh, I got that, blah blah blah, and you think you are just because you're a man. No, 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 bro. Let's keep it 100. You have got to do the work first. And a lot of guys, including myself, I was 25. I didn't know that much, right? It took time for me to realize who I was later on, what I can do. Did I get married early in my, early 20s? Yes. However, at that point, I didn't get married at 21. I didn't know anything. It was important for me to know and justify myself. What can I do to provide and protect for a family that I'm just about to take on? And you have to be real. If you just don't have that capacity and you just think you can get a girl, get her pregnant and run about your business and roll these rims, and you're more into all the video games and all that stuff. And I'm not hating on the video game. I'm just saying you have to prioritize everything first. And what a lot of men have done in the world is kind of just looked at the Bible, ran whatever verse they wanted to run with, and made it look like it was for them without actually thoroughly reading what the word is, and then change it for their benefit, to kind of put a woman down or make her feel this way and that way, right? And I'm not gonna come here on here and just pretend like I was just this angel, because I wasn't. I had to learn myself. There was mistakes I made. I take accountability for that. But now, as I've grown older, I can see that the things that I should have done, I'm implementing that now. And not only that, I'm passing that to a younger generation. I myself have a son now, and he's going to need to know the mistakes I made so I can better him, so a woman who's out there for him will see him in a light that he needs to be seen, so she can trust him. Because a lot of women will fall in line, but it starts with us. You have to make sure that you are doing everything you're supposed to do. Get your ducks lined up, right? It's not bashing. It's just what needs to be done. Our community is divided. Back in the 60s and 70s, your grandmother, our parents, everything was working together, right? Together strong. Now, the government, in all honesty, has come in, and with our help, right? You got to have a participant to help. They've come in and divided us and separated us, right? I'm all for woman power to work and bring things to the table, not just sitting at home cooking and cleaning. I get that. You have a life. It's not just centered on that. But we all have our expectations of the opposite sex and what we need to get done. And it's a shame that we are gone to this path that we've gone down, right? I mean, this one sex is dividing the other sex, and you're not doing this, I'm not doing that, blah, 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 going back. We're not getting anywhere. So I think what a lot of people are trying to do is trying to reel things in. But the problem is the situations that a lot of women have found themselves in make them rebel and do the things they want, because they haven't seen that particular man that they know they want and need. They haven't seen it in their lives for them to justify what we're talking about. So many of us have gone a different route. We know Papa was a rolling stone. We know we hear the song and all that. But let's be real, ladies. Women were rolling stones too now. Come on now. They were both doing it. And we look at men as cheaters, but women were cheating too. And I'm saying all that because equally we've been doing this stuff to each other. But there's comes a time where you have to look at your past, bring it back together, because overall it hurts our community. Our wealth is there. There's studies that say if we put all our money together, we'd be the 5th largest country in the world. Just let that sink in. But we are choosing to spend our money outside of our community, and that has made us divide about our ideology. I mean, the things that we think about, there are our ideas, our commitments, they're just changed. And it all starts with distrust with the sexes. Now, when I started to get into relationships, I really didn't think that much of it, right? My older sister, she had a group of people come to my house. It was a barbecue. She needed a place to go. I said, okay, come on over. And what I found out is they all came together after we ate. The women sat on one side, the men sat on another side. And to my amazement, they were talking about male and female issues. How can we cut the gap? Like those stupid stuff, right? And give you an example. The girl said, hey, why you guys have to have the toilet seat up? We need it down. Stupid stuff like that a lot of people just laugh at. But we don't understand each other, these little small things. So the ideas were going back and forth across the room, and it made people more aware of what the other's sex needs. And sometimes you're just not aware of it. You just assume people know, but they don't. So it was really refreshing to see that. That got me going. That was like, wow, look at all this. All the things I didn't know that women particularly thought about, that we just assumed that they did, and vice versa. So to me, I started to talk to people, and I get into it. And people who are close to me know that this is a topic that I just run at, right? I just love it because I'm trying to help everybody understand the opposite sex. And sometimes I have to give it from a male point of view, but I try to be fair about how females are. So I usually talk to like my play sisters, get their mindset, find out where it is that they see things going for men, and vice versa. Our problem is now we got modern women. Most men, not all, make sure this is clear, most men are still the same as Adam was, right? modern, not modern, but traditional. Now, the women who are traditional, with all the feminist movements and women's lib and all this other stuff, and all it just changed, right? They feel free. They feel like I got to be a boss lady. I got to do this and do that. That has disrupted the kind of things that has happened between us, right? I'm not saying if it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you what happened. Now, along the course of time, men probably got a little dirty at it too, right? They weren't doing the exact traditional thing either. They start nipping and dipping and going a different direction that they weren't supposed to be going, which led to some of this activity. Now, I'm not going to say it led to all of it, but it's still the way it is. But until we come together as one unit and work together and find out what each other wants, it's never going to happen. But I'm here to let you know that as a black man, we owe our women everything to get everything lined up to be in the presence of God. And let's talk about marriage. Our women are the least likely to be married out of all the races. What happened to marriage? Why are people running away from it? What's going on with the commitment? Well, that's because the distrust is not there. Because the men aren't seeing the type of woman that they used to see in their mothers. Remember, women, you're an extension of his mother. He is an extension of your dad, if treated right, if done right. These are the things that most people don't see. Now, the men have to obviously be brought up right, cared right, and shown by a male presence in the house to see how it's done. And a lot of them aren't and haven't, and they're being raised by single parent mothers. And that is half the battle right there, because a woman can't show a man how to do it and be a man, and then now they're going on to another relationship as they get older, and then they don't know what to do. And now here's a woman who he just got, so she thought he was in love with him, and it falls apart because he has no really guidance to show her leadership and how things went well. And you just triple effect all the way down. It just goes domino all the way down the road, and that's where we're lacking. So they are things that black men need to get together and kind of helped our younger men, out mentoring programs. I was in the Big Brother Little Sister program when I was 22, and I saw how valuable that was. I used to take a young man out whose father was absent at the house, and it made a difference in his life. And I lost contact with him, but I know that before I lost contact, he was on the right path, and it makes a difference. We just have to step up and be the men that we need to be. So when you think about this topic, not trying to bash on anybody, but just being real, as men, we have to step up and do what we need to do, get things back in order, because it's going to start with us, leadership. And God is looking at us to do what we need to do and why we were placed in the first place. And if you think differently, then you got a problem. But this is Tommy Thomas coming to you live from T-ster Talk. And please subscribe and hit the like button. And as always, thank you and have a great day.